Gnanasara behind bars. Is racism rearing its ugly head again? Udayanga in hot water after carrying tales to Basil against Prasanna. Basil Namal may disagree, but majority supports Ranil. Ranil's unusual tactics. Weerawansa's way forward becomes a failure.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
Gnanasara behind bars. Is racism rearing its ugly head again? SMS news alerts on Thursday afternoon said Galagodate Gnanasara has been sentenced to 4 years with hard labour and also fined 100,000 rupees. The Colombo High Court found him guilty of charges of causing religious dissent by a remark he made to the media in 2016 with regard to the Kuragala temple. Mujibur Rahman and Azath Sali were the complainants against him. Ravana Balaya Secretary Ithakande Sadatisa Thera said, an appeal has been filed against the sentencing. No sooner than the verdict was delivered, social media was full with claims that Gnanasara Thera was done for, while those who are really responsible for racism roam freely. The Thera was the cat's paw in the racist conspiracy to elect Gota the president in 2019, campaigners said. They name his makers as Medagoda Abayatisa Thera, Mahinda, Gotabaya, Basil, Gamanpila, Anuradha Yahampath, and Weerawansa. According to Dulles, only 193 days remain for the presidential polls. It is dangerous that racism is raising its head again. People have paid dearly for racism and religious fanatism and do not need to suffer any further. So, they will have to keep a close watch on that. Udayanga in hot water after carrying tales to Basil against Prasanna. Ex-ambassador to Russia, Udayanga Weeratunga is a close relative of the Rajapaksas. Recently, Minister Prasanna Ranatunga took him to task at the Nelum Mawatha party office. When the belittled Udayanga complained to Basil, he was told, "Why did you accuse Prasanna? He has been with us all this while. Do you know any politics? Shut up and mind your own business. If you cannot do that, don't come here again." Now, the SLPP office has been made a no-go zone for Udayanga. Social media activist Eranda Ginigai has published an article which makes strong criticism of President Ranil and his government. Eranda is the former convener of Viathmaga that brought Gotabaya to politics. It is said that he now serves the Basil and Namal duo. He played a key role in getting Namal appointed as the party's national organiser. The article that made references to Kanchana, Pramitha, Mahindananda and others claimed they were openly promoting Ranil. It was brought up after the SLPP's EXCO meeting last Wednesday. As Kanchana was coming out, he came face to face with Eranda. Accusing him of misleading and destroying Gota, he also gave him a smack. Priyantha Ratnayake and others intervened and dragged Eranda away to prevent a big incident. Although Prasanna's name too came up, he claims he is unaware and that he was conversing with Mahinda and Basil at the time it happened. It is no secret that the SLPP's internal conflicts have aggravated to the stage of fisticuffs in public. The main reason for all these is the question of whether or not to support Ranil at the presidential polls. Knowing that this could well create a further erosion of the party, the SLPP has set up 2 new panels to resolve disciplinary and other internal issues. The appointments came at the meeting at Mahinda's official home on the 27th. The one that deals with disciplinary issues comprises 7 lawyers, including Chamari Pereira, the widow of the late State Minister Sanath Nishantha. It is headed by President's Counsel, Razik Zaruk and W. Dayaratne, who both are die-hard loyalists of Basil. The other members are Thushari Suryarachji, Athula de Silva, Manjula Welalaj, and Sarath Athukarale. The arbitration panel on internal issues consists of Chamal, Johnston, SB, CB Ratnayake, Rohitha, and Manjula Disanayake. Namal's followers say it is none other than Ranil who has created divisions in their party. Countering it, others say it is because of Ranil that they managed to save their lives and continue in politics. They vow to elect him for 5 years despite any obstacles. Basil Namal may disagree, but majority supports Ranil. The SLPP's EXCO also decided that views should not be aired until the party makes a presidential candidate official. But, less than a day later, Minister Prasanna is back very much in Ranil's campaign. He says a presidential election is better than a general election, and the country needs a stable government. It cannot be rebuilt if it becomes unstable after a general election, he says. Further, Prasanna says Basil should have remained their national organiser, and also that Namal needs more time to be a presidential candidate. He said all these to journalists at the party office on Thursday. With the party not having a suitable candidate at present, they should give another chance to Ranil, he added. Prasanna says all these with a purpose. It seems he is saying in public what the party's majority believes in. So, whatever is said by the uncles and the nephews, it is now too late for them. Ranil's unusual tactics. Certain media in Canada does not seem to recognise Sajith Premadasa as Sri Lanka's opposition leader. They identify Anura Kumara Dissanayake to be that person. Some say India, too, may have given him the same recognition when it gave AKD an official tour. Despite repeated requests, Sajith has been denied a visit to that country. A top official at the High Commission told him to wait until May when elections are over. Anyway, the presidential race is a three-horse contest. For the media, it is between Sajith and AKD only. But Ranil has allowed the duo as well as the Rajapaksas and Dilith Jayawera to fight over the Sinhala Buddhist heritage and entered the game from the north and the east. His next target is going to be the estate areas. With that in mind, he is sending Sagala to India as his emissary. His plan is to lure a sizable number of SJB MPs by showing his might in the north, east and estates. He had a closed-door meeting with the leader of a party representing the estate community. That Tamil leader told Ranil to accept Rajitha and the lot and show that he is capable of winning. Then, they too could join him, he added. This time Ranil is going to play a different game altogether. Weerawansa's way forward becomes a failure. Alliances are forming by the day. Another is in the making on April 4th. It is to consist of Wimal Weerawansa's Supreme Lanka Coalition, Dulles Alahaparuma's Freedom People's Congress, Dayasiri Jayasekara's Humane People's Alliance and Roshan Ranasinghe's Anti-Corruption Alliance. They are planning a big May Day rally too. They are going to call their alliance the Way Forward. But it has hit a snag at the very outset. Two FPC affiliates, LSSP and SLMP, have backtracked, saying they cannot be in an alliance with the Rathanathera, Gevindu and Jayasumana lot. Even Dayasiri and Charita too think along the same lines. Charitha was absent at the SLC convention at the Maharagama Youth Centre. When asked by a journalist, he replied that Dulles may have attended, but that he has a serious issue with the stand taken by Weerawansa and Gaman Pila. Some say this Way Forward lot will try to use anti-Indian sentiments, emanating after ex-President Sirisena's controversial claim and the imprisonment of Nanasarathera to their advantage. Even Sirisena himself is failing to impress, with his Chair Alliance proving to be a non-starter. Nimal Lanza's new alliance has already given it up, telling Lasantha Alagiyawane that they cannot work with a person who always talks nonsense. Anway, leaders aggregable to that alliance, will have a meeting tomorrow. The URF too has been invited, but Patali has said no to the invitation. That's it for today.